Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Inshuraba Sewa. On this channel I do talk with you about lifestyle ideas, cooking to business to how to improve ourselves, and also give you motivation when needed. Today I'm going to talk with you guys about how to start an African clothing business or African accessories business. Whichever way you want to start. I will be looking down because I do have notes down here, and so when I look down, please pardon me. If this is your first time coming to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you've already subscribed, thank you, because I'm always counting on the numbers. If you haven't, please subscribe below and also hit the notification button below so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Today we'll be talking about how to start an African clothing and accessories business. If this is the reason why you're on this channel today, then stay tuned. So welcome back. Thank you for taking time to subscribe to this channel. So today we're going to start with why you want to start an African clothing business. If you had already seen my introduction video, you've already learned something about me, that I do have a clothing business, actually an African clothing boutique. It's the first boutique here in South Carolina that sells African clothing. And actually I did get a grant from the state of South Carolina to get or expand my business, which in turn got the boutique. I will be doing another video to go in depth how to get money for your business if this is your first time trying to go into business, or if you have a business and you're trying to expand it. That will be a different video. Today I just want to talk about how to start a clothing business. So I do have a basic skill in sewing. I had taken home economics in high school, therefore I did basic sewing and polished my sewing when I got here to the US, and through YouTube actually I learned how to sew. So I've been blessed enough to just see something, maybe a design, and duplicate it. That's just a gift that I've gotten. Since I went back to work full-time, I haven't had any interest in sewing, and I'll tell you the reason why as this video goes on. So the first question I want to ask you when you're trying to get into the African clothing business is why you want to get into the business. There are so many people trying to find their heritage and also learn more about the African culture that is so common to see people wear African clothing now. Unlike 20 years ago when I first came to the US, people didn't even know where Africa was. I remember back in school, in college, people asked me, do we still walk around naked? Do we still live on trees? It's been a while since I heard those questions. So I'm guessing the training and the education about the African culture has really gone far. Point number one, do your research and find out the African culture is about, why people want to identify with the African culture. By the way, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. That means we have different parts of Africa. So find out where you're interested in, either the west, south, east, and north. Whichever part of Africa that you're interested in, their dressing, their culture, their food may be a little different from the others. So make sure you do your research and find out which part of Africa you're interested in. Also, if you're selling these clothes and accessories in your community, make sure you know who your customers are going to be or who your audience are going to be. Now, if you're able to identify that, you'll be able to narrow down the kind of clothing and accessories that you need to get, and of course the kind of materials you're going to get. Now, if you're living in a community where the economic rate or economic level is very low, then of course you don't want to sell clothing that's too expensive for people not to be able to buy. But at the same time, that's not going to be your only target audience. If you market your products well enough, there will be people who will be able to meet that target that you're trying to reach, not just in your community but also outside. So do your research and learn your environment, learn your customers, learn who you're going to sell or market to. That will help you narrow down and decide what kind of clothing business you want to go into. Also find out what people are trying to buy. This time people don't really care about what they want, most people I would say, because they just want to identify with the African culture. Some people just want to wear the fabric just because everybody is wearing it. Some people want to wear the fabric to boost their confidence. Some want to wear it because they want to identify with the culture. Now, a time came here in the US, especially in my community, where we had dashiki. Of course, when you say dashiki, most people think dashiki is African print, but dashiki actually symbolizes or stands for a specific fabric. But a time came when dashiki or Angelina fabric became very common because most people were ordering, or most vendors were ordering them from Asia, other countries, not from Africa. And because people were buying so much of it, we had the market diluted with Asian fabrics or fabrics that were not made in Africa. And so therefore, people bought these fabrics and thought all African fabrics are just the same. That's what people think. If you don't know the specifics, or if you don't know the difference, then of course you're going to buy anything regardless of how much they sell it to you. Now, most African materials and fabric can be told, or you can tell the difference from the quality of it by the texture of the fabric. Some may be too expensive and some may be just very cheap, depending on who you're getting it from and what kind of materials you're getting. So you have to be mindful about that as well. If you have a customer who knows what he or she wants and know what the authentic African fabric is, then of course you don't want to sell them anything cheap. So you also have to find out who is selling these products in your neighborhood. If you have other stores that are selling, of course you want to find out how much they're selling their products for, because you don't want to go too high above market price, and also you don't want to go too low for market below the market price. So you need to find out what the average products are going for in terms of price in your community. Now the next question is, how will you be selling these products? Will you be selling online? Will you be selling door to door during vendor events, or would you be hosting drop shipping or hosting your products in a store or a facility or wherever? You have to think about this as well. Now, going to be setting up online or selling online, then of course you need to look into what kind of website, how much you're going to invest in it, and who is going to do all the work for you. Now with online store, one thing I've learned so much is you have to make sure you're keeping up with your inventories, because I've had instances where my things are sold out and they haven't been updated online. That's because I used to do so many events that things would be sold during events, but I wouldn't be able to go back online to update my online store. And in this case, then I have to go back, either apologize to the customer and refund them their money, or it gets a little bit confusing. And so you have to make sure you're able to keep up with all these demands as they come. To do events, that is a great way of networking as well. You have in-person contact with your customers, you have the opportunity to reach other people and be able to sell in person. So you have to consider all these. You have to be able to market your product yourself. I am an African brand ambassador, therefore anything I do or say or things around me represents what I sell. Most people in the community here in South Carolina know me for Afristyle, and that's because I've worked so hard and so it's saturated in the community. Now, I don't always wear an African clothing, but I'm always wearing something to represent my business. That's what I've been known for. You don't, like I said, you don't always have to wear African clothing, but at least you need to believe in what you're doing and also what you're selling. Example is selling medication for weight loss. You can't be overweight and sell me something for weight loss. So if you believe in your product so well, then people need to see you using your product, or people need to see you sharing your product. Where to get these products is the next point. Now, there are a lot of people that sell vendor lists. Now, vendor lists can be all over. It can be from China, it can be Italy, Africa, all over. Number one place that I would recommend is Etsy. I've never bought anything from Etsy, but I've seen wholesale vendors from Etsy that sell products from Africa. So you can have vendors in Ghana, in South Africa, all over the world, and they'll be able to ship these products to you. What I will recommend is make sure you're ordering samples first from these vendors to make sure you inspect them and make sure it's something that meets your standard before you go in big time or order a wholesale of something. Also, make sure you're ordering something from the right person. Now, my philosophy in business is sometimes you have to lose to gain. You don't always have to do this, but sometimes in business you have to take risks. Before I got to the point where I am, I've been in business since 2014. Before I got to this point, I had met so many vendors. I've tried so many vendors, and there are vendors that I work with now that I have worked with all the years that I've been in business. And that's because we work hand in hand. When something is not done right, I make sure I tell you this is not done right. Make sure you know the vendor that you're ordering from. You have to build a relationship. Now, I'm not saying the vendor relationship is always going to be perfect, but this is business. Let the vendor know, hey, I would like to work with you as long as I can, but I need to see samples of your product. Now, some people that I've worked with in the past will send me products for free. All I need to do is pay for shipping. Others will ship the things for free, make it for free, everything for free, because they're looking for my business. And that's because of the relationship that I've built so much with my customers and my platform, that they know if they're able to partner up with me, I'm going to bring them the business they need. And that's the relationship I have with my link below my website, which shows you my business for Afristyle. Of course, I first started with SquareUp.com, and SquareUp now is partnered up with Weebly, which is a new platform that moved SquareUp websites on. And so I'm learning around the Weebly website. I haven't really gotten familiar with it, and therefore I haven't been able to market anything or much on the Weebly website. My SquareUp platform is still working just fine because I've been on it for so long and I'm more comfortable with that. And so most of my marketing and most of my invoicing or billing is still done through SquareUp. So you have to, if you're going into the African business, these are some of the things you have to consider. Now, if you're interested in getting wholesale items from Ghana, I do have, like I mentioned before, I do have customers and vendors that I work with in Ghana that are very faithful and that can really help you with wholesale items. I do have people here in the US that has partnered up with me and sell through Afristyle as well. And so if you need any help in these areas, my information is going to be below or on the screen. I'll be able to give you more information. But most items that you have to order from these vendors has to be through me. I will make another video, as mentioned earlier, to give you information on how I expanded my business from just going from either show to show, table to table, into a mobile boutique, how I ended up getting the grant to expand my business into the mobile boutique. That's going to be in another video. But if you've watched this video and have any other suggestions for people wanting to go into the African accessories and clothing business, please leave the information below. If you have any other questions, I'll be glad to answer those questions for you. Leave them below as well. And again, thank you for stopping by to watch this video. Thank you for subscribing and hit the notification button so you'll be notified next time I come in to upload a new video. Thank you. Bye.